Hi, in this video we're going to look at two functions, EDATE and the YEARNOW functions. The YEARNOW function is actually two dates which we've treated previously, the year function and the now function. But in this particular video we're going to merge both functions together to perform certain operations. Now the EDATE function is used to determine a future or previous date, usually by adding a given number of months to a determined previous a determined date. So if you're going to add, say, 10 months to a particular date, what are we going to have in the future? If you're going to subtract 3 months from a particular date, what are we going to have? Now, the use of the year now is to determine a particular number of dates using the current year as a base. So we're going to look at our data and see how we're going to get cracking with these particular functions. Now we have information here, having serial number, surname, other names, unit, blah blah. You have date of birth, retirement date, remaining years to retirement. Now let's look at the simple illustration of the EDATE function. The EDATE function syntax is simply a two logic syntax, both of which are mandatory functions. Is equal to EDATE bracket open SD, meaning the start date, comma, you take the number of months you intend to add. Now if you subtract the number of months, will be minus. Now let's come to this place. We have date here and we want to add 7 months, the first one, while the second one we're going to add something, we're going to subtract 8 months. So I'm using this syntax and I'm going to say equal to EDATE, open a bracket, and it's asking me for a start date. So this is my start date. I take my comma. The next is asking how many months do I want to mark up this, and I take 7 and I hit my enter key. So if you add 7 months to 13th September 1973, you're going to get 13th April 1974. So if I copy this down, we are subtracting 8 months from October 1970 and we're having February 1970. Now let's look at our illustration and use the EDATE function for more technical assignments. Okay, now we have our illustration here saying the retirement age of your company is 60 years. You have been given the list of staff of the company and you are required to 1. Indicate the retirement date against each name. 2. Indicate the remaining years of service for each staff. So we have this information. Now all we need to do is to look at the date of birth. We're already told that retirement age is 60, so we have here 60 years as retirement age. Now for a guy born in 1999, when is he going to retire? So we're going to use the EDATE using the syntax that we've already learned to determine the future date, which is retirement date. So we're going to say EDATE, that's EDATE, I open my bracket, it's asking for the start date. Certainly this is the start date. Now we take our comma. After taking your comma, you know the next thing obviously is the number of months. Let me take this again, okay? Yeah, the next thing is the number of months. It's asking us the number of months. Now we know we have 60 years, and 60 years, number of months will be 60 times 12 months. So we're going to click on this. Now I want to hold this fixed because I intend to copy it down. If I multiply this by 12, I'll get the number of months. So all I need to do is to close this bracket and hit my enter key. Now this person will be retiring on 26th of May 2059. So if I copy this down, we have the retirement date for all the candidates or all the staff. So I have answered question number 1. The second question is saying we should indicate the remaining years of service for the particulars for each of the staff. So how am I going to get the remaining service here? The guy is retiring in 2059. And currently we're in 2020. This is the year I'm running this training. So I'm going to say the number of years remaining for him to serve is 2059 less 2020, which is 39 years. Now I want to create this in this particular cell here to make it dynamic so I don't have to key in absolute values. Now how do I take out only 2059 from this particular place? I can use the year function. Now if I take the year function, I said equal to year, and I pick this, I'm just isolating the year value, which is 2059. So I already have dynamically without having to having to change or to manually type 2059. Now I need 2020 and I also want it to be dynamic. So I'm going to say equal to year. I'm talking about year right now. So I open a bracket and type now and I hit my enter key. Now this is 2020. So if I get the difference, I'm going to get 39 years more. So I come here and I just superimpose these two functions on each other, and I'm going to start with equal to. I say year. So I pick the year from this particular place. This one would give me 2059, and I take minus. I take year now. I'm going to take now, close the bracket, and I just hit my enter key. So 39 years more. All I need to do is just to copy this down. So I have all this. These are the remaining years. So if I begin to scroll down, and you'll be seeing the number of years remaining for each person. This guy has 8 more years because he's retiring 28, and I have one guy retiring in 1 year time, that is in 2021. Now this is all that we need to do to achieve that. We've mixed. If you check this particular function, the first part of it is bringing out the retirement year, while the final part of it is bringing out the current year. Now this is how to use the year function and the EDATE function to create reports that can actually be very effective and dynamic. Thank you very much for listening. In other videos, we'll see much more of what Excel can do. Bye-bye.